Warning. The content on this channel is not intended or suitable for minors below 13 years of age. If that is you, please click off and come back when you're older. By continuing beyond this point, you affirm that you are 13 years of age or older.
What's up? What is going on, swears? We're back in old 17th century England. We're kind of a sort of a doctor, astrologer, advice person, I guess. And we're trying to get enough letters that we can get a actual physician's letter. So we're going through these different people. Quite a bit has happened as far as the storyline goes here, but this has been really fun. It's a limited location, but man, this is just really well written, well voice acted. Just a really cool game. Very casual, very fun. I'm digging it. Another guy who really loves our chamber boy, who we actually have not seen at all so far in this game.
Good day, Your Grace, and well met. Might I inquire whether Your Grace has made a decision regarding whether to give Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury?
Ah, yes, Dean Blagg. After you indicated that he might be questioning his faith, I had my chaplain look into his affairs more closely. Although I found nothing amiss as regards to his devotion to God, his devotion to the management of Rochester Cathedral is, mayhap, not as it should be.
Verily, Your Grace. How so?
It seems Dean Blagg has been embezzling coin from the Rochester Cathedral accounts, and several items of cathedral furniture have gone missing. Paintings, wall hangings, silver candlesticks and the like.
Oh, indeed.
Oops.
Of course, I will make nothing of it, as I wish to avoid the scandal. I merely told Dean Blagg that I could not offer him the bishopric due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Of course. And what problem would Your Grace wish me to address this day?
Oh, 'tis a problem with my other deans. With each passing day there seems to be a new dean at the palace gates, come to petition me for this wretched bishopric of Salisbury. Presently, 'tis Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh. Since he returned from Ireland, he talks of nothing else.
How tiresome for Your Grace.
Indeed. I have told Owen that I am giving his request careful consideration, but in my experience, this only delays a dean for so long. I do have to grant the occasional bishopric, or else my deans become restless.
Doubtless, Your Grace.
But after what I learned about Dean Blagg, I must take care to exercise caution. Hence, I would have you tell me anything you know, that is, anything the stars reveal, about Owen Wood, that would render him unsuitable to perform the role of bishop.
Then let us ask the stars. Is there any reason why the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, should not grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury?
4 and 3.
I must advise against granting Owen Wood the bishopric, for the stars reveal that he has sinned most grievously.
Ah, verily? Grievously, you say?
I am afeard Dean Wood did commit the sin of adultery.
Ah, nothing else?
'Twas more than once, Your Grace.
Doubtless, doubtless. While I appreciate your most excellent discernment of this information from the stars, I must own that Dean Wood's extra-clerical activities are already well known to me. Why, even my own wife has had a tumble with the man.
Your Grace, I am sorry.
Hold, Sarah. In truth, 'tis of no consequence to me. What occurs in Lambeth Palace bides in Lambeth Palace,
Oh boy.
as we like to say. But you are right to remind me of Dean Wood's indiscretions, for mayhap it be not wise to elevate Owen to such a public position as bishop. I do have the reputation of the church to consider.
Indeed, Your Grace.
I will tell Owen that while I had every intention of granting him the bishopric, my hands are now tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Very wise, Your Grace. And one more matter, if I may. Has Your Grace yet had the opportunity to consider the granting of my medical license?
Ah, yes, that. Once my chaplain has finished looking into the matter, I shall be giving it careful consideration. Good day.
Okay. Ashamed to disappoint Owen, but the church cannot tolerate scandal of this nature. We are not the Catholic Church in Rome. Okay. Oh yes, the husband killer.
Good day, Lady Dyer.
Good day, Dr. Foreman. But I can no longer claim the title of Lady Dyer, for Lord Dyer passed away last year. You must call me Mistress Moore now, for I am lately remarried.
Indeed? I am full sorry to hear of Lord Dyer's death, Mistress Moore. Pray tell, what did your late husband die of?
'Twas the diabetes, the disease you judged him as having. He died from wounds that never healed.
You mean the cut on his lordship's hand? But I recall you saying the wound was trifling small.
Oh yes, that wound was. But through misfortune he acquired many more. One evening, while we were summering at our country estate, he was leaning out upon the balcony when the stone railing gave way and he fell into our rose garden, the thorns cutting near to pieces. Poor dear Henry. He did so love his roses.
Wow.
There, dear lady.
My wish is to leave such sorrows behind and think only of my new husband, Lancelot Moore. My Lancelot is a fine man, a man of great talent. Indeed, he has so much potential that I am loath to see it go to waste. And, as you doubtless know, Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, is presently leading a military campaign to put down the Catholic rebels in Ireland.
Forsooth I do know, madam. Indeed, I myself was at the parade to send Lord Devereux off on his travels. Have you a notion that your husband should enlist as a soldier in his lordship's campaign?
Indeed I do, Dr. Foreman. For you see, my husband Lancelot is full brave.
Yes, I am told that Lancelot has distinguished himself in many fierce battles against fathers and the like.
But I seek your reassurance that if I were to send Lancelot to Ireland, he would return unharmed. No doubt the Earl is leading his men very well, but I hear tell those Irish tribesmen are most savage in battle. Dare I let my husband face such fearsome beasts?
Let us see what the stars advise. Should Lancelot Moore join Lord Devereux's campaign in Ireland, would he find glory in battle or death?
1, 2, 3. 1 and 2.
Madam, I urge you not to send your husband to Ireland. There is a goodly chance he would die in battle.
Oh, verily?
Aye. According to the stars, England's campaign against the Catholic rebels fares very ill. Whilst Robert Devereux may be a skilled military commander, the Catholic rebels are clever strategists. They have the upper hand.
By the saints, how frightful! I will at once to my husband go and entreat him not to venture to Ireland.
Alright. Okay. So we're close here. Robert Timmer, skilled military commander, he can barely command his young Yarl, from what I hear tell.
Hear ye! Lancelot Moore drowns in Irish bog. Grieving Moore family demands answers. Hear ye!
Lancelot Moore, second son of Sir Alfred Moore, was reported drowned in action Tuesday last near the town of Boyle in Ireland. Mr. Moore numbers among the many casualties of Robert Devereux's troubled military campaign to quell the Irish Catholic rebellion. Moore's family is reported to be distressed and seeking answers from authorities over his death. Most notably, this includes royal favorite Lady Barbara Talbot, who is said to be profoundly upset at having been denied the opportunity to be by her cousin's side in his final moments.
Since my death is in the lurch, for solution she does search. Disclosure is the verdict of the church, the blind death is in the lurch.
Good day, mistress.
Oh,
What brings
Lord.
you?
I am come about my lover who has lately returned from Ireland.
Ah, yea, and your current lover is, as I recall... Ah, yes, your lover at present is Owen Wood, the Reverend Dean of Armagh, is it not?
Aye.
And according to my notes, you were afeard he might die in battle, and yet you do not appear to be much pleased he's returned alive. Whatever is the matter, madam?
It is being said around the diocese that my lover, Owen Wood, is romantically entangled with 2 other women.
And who might these 2 other women be? Might one of them be his wife, or...
Of course not. Do not jape with me,
Of
Ford.
course not.
I did hear that one of the ladies Owen is seeing is Mistress Ways, while the other is a certain Anne Hayborn, with whom I am not yet acquainted. I do hear she is a very young and comely maiden, though mayhap a maiden no longer. I prithee, scribble one of those doodles of yours and tell me if this be true.
Madam, if you will but afford me some silence and calm, I will compose one of my doodles, as you so call my mathematically precise astronomical charts, and endeavour to answer your question. To wit, is Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, wooing other women?
The guy who's doing Simon Foreman is just awesome. 2, 2, 2.
I think I may allay your fears, madam. Owen Wood's military experiences in Ireland have given him time to reflect, and God has lately granted him the gift of maturity. He is not having intimate relations with those women, Mistress Ways and Anne Hayborn, I think you said they were. Moreover, one extramarital affair is all he can afford on a dean's income.
Then Owen Wood has been true to me. On my honour, that is well to hear. Verily, it does warrant celebration. Dr. Foreman, would you care to join me in celebrating?
You wish me to accompany you to the Quiet Bear, or... Ah.
Oh. I do not think Foreman counts, for he is my doctor, is he not? Nay, indeed. I need not feel guilty. Oh, this guy again.
God give you good evening, Your Grace. I trust you were pleased with the previous counsel I gave you? The advice I gave against granting Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury.
Ah, yes, your counsel did indeed prove sound, for Dean Wood is now cods deep in scandal. The parish council has received numerous paternity suits, and 'tis said that scores of defiled wenches throng the gates of his deanery each morning, clutching suckling babes and demanding recourse. As for young Anne Hayborn, she has had her reputation ruined, and Dean Ways is barely speaking to his wife anymore.
On my word, how disgraceful.
Aye, indeed. If only Owen had the sense to exercise more discretion.
Yes, indeed, Your Grace.
The Bishop of London, for instance, manages his affairs very quietly. I might have been able to look the other way, but in this instance I could not let Owen's indiscretions pass. For a wretched local woman by the name of Mary Payne got wind of the scandal and stirred up a public fuss about it. Oh, the devil take the woman and her bacon-faced husband.
If I might venture an opinion, Your Grace, mayhap if we were to pay no heed to Mary Payne and her ilk, they would eventually tire of their animus and leave us all be. But is it upon such problems you come this day, or upon some other matter?
I am come about my health. I believe I do ail of something.
Then pray, describe your complaints to me, Your Grace.
Well, I am afflicted with pain in my back, and at times I find myself hard of breathing. Indeed, I feel I may have phlegm in my chest, and I do bear these odd-looking spots upon my body that will not mend.
If you will permit me to loosen your robes to examine you. Oh, I see. Methinks I have a notion of what ails you. Let me confirm it with a reading of the stars. What troubles Archbishop Whitgift?
Knobs in the yard. Knobs in the yard.
Your Grace, I know not how to put this delicately. You have the French pox. I'm not sure how this is possible, as you're a man of the cloth. Indeed, mayhap I check the stars again.
No need. I did suspect as much.
Verily? How astute of you. The French pox can oft be difficult to cure, but in your case, it is not far advanced. This ointment of boar grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body. It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin. You may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
I see. And, I imagine your manservant William will be giving me this treatment?
No, Your Grace. The grease is to be taken home with you and applied each night before bed for 9 days. Mayhap your chaplain could apply it to your Grace's body.
Ah, yes, a fine idea. I thank you for this treatment, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Foreman.
Before you leave, Your Grace, might I inquire again as to the possibility of you granting me a medical license? Your Grace did mention you would give it careful consideration.
Ah, yes, indeed I did I not? Have no fear, Dr. Foreman. My chaplain is looking into it. Good day.
Oh. Aha! I got 5 of these now. I do believe the doctor are beginning to develop something of an understanding.
Here comes Lord Devereux, ready to fight, while I and rest with his be all night. He may not know much, but he knows that he's right.
Oh God, what does this guy want now?
Give ye good morrow, my lord. I trust your lordship is well this day.
Well? God's body, am I likely to be well? I have been languishing under lock and key while all England goes to ruin.
Yes, I did hear something of your arrest. I take it your encounter with the Queen did not go as well as planned.
Of course it did not. Her Majesty the Queen of England awakening to find a man hovering over her bed like a grinning fool, clutching a bunch of flowers in one hand and a box of sweetmeats in the other? God's death! What is in you? What did you think would come of me sneaking into the Queen's
I
bedchamber?
don't care.
But you were
You got
imprisoned
your letter,
in your
fuck
York
off.
house residence, were you not? The fact that you were placed under house arrest and not imprisoned in the Tower surely speaks to the Queen's fondness for you. I trust your time in confinement was not uncomfortable, at least.
Well, yes, my time away from the world and its trifling concerns did, in truth, prove useful. It afforded me time to reflect on larger questions, to take stock of my life and put recent events in perspective.
Ah, I see. And what resolution did this quiet period of sober reflection bring you? A closer relationship with God? Or perchance you are resolved to spend more time with your family?
What? Nay. I said my mind was turned to larger questions. To wit, am I destined for greater things? Am I chosen by God to rule a kingdom? For I must needs act. The realm is under threat from within. For why was I verily imprisoned? Was it merely to punish me for some trifling mistakes I made in Ireland? Nay, 'twas to separate me from the Queen.
Well, I imagine after discovering you in Her Majesty's bedchamber...
Do you not yet see? The Privy Council means to keep me away from Whitehall, lest I see how they have contrived to control and manipulate the Queen since I left for Ireland.
My lord! Are you saying the Queen is weak and no longer in control of her reign?
Aye, indeed. Something must be done about it. Well, man, do not just stand there.
Yes, of course, my lord. Let us see whether the stars may give you your answer. Is Robert Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, destined to, rule England? My lord, the stars give you warning against paying heed to the counsel of friends. Was it, perchance, a friend who planted the seeds of these suspicions? To wit, your lordship's concerns regarding the Privy Council?
Indeed, it was my friends who apprised me of the threat, but I see no reason to doubt them.
My lord, for the sake of your safety, I must ask you honestly, is it verily plausible, this notion that you were imprisoned on the Privy Council's orders to hide some manner of grand conspiracy? Or might the truth be far simpler, though harder to bear, that the Queen had good reason to punish you, and you are now vexed that you are no longer her favourite? Of course, I say this with the greatest respect and the greatest of...
What? God's teeth, man! What is in you this day? Indeed, I will not suffer to be lectured in such a manner. 'Tis apparent such complex affairs of state are far beyond the understanding of a commoner. Forsooth, a mere astrologaster. I bid you a final adieu, for methinks I will have no need of you henceforth.
But my lord,
My duty is clear. For the sake of the realm and the safety of its people, I must act without delay.
Astrologaster.
Okay. I don't care. We got his letter. My claim to the throne may not be as strong as the Stuarts, or the Lennoxes, the Greys, and the Yorks, but a pox on all their houses. God has chosen me. I think we got this guy's letter also. I think.
Good day, Dean Bligh. How now, good sir? I see you do ale of something.
I do ale of something, foreman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed. For I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
Verily. You do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, foreman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Yea, that of course. And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blarg family fortune before I died, and thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blarg were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
I take it then that your your finances are also in poor health.
Alas, they are. For as you accurately predicted, the Archbishop never did grant me the bishopric of Salisbury. It would seem his grace is content for me to remain in my current state of penury.
I see. Well, as to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querum confidentiality most seriously. As Hippocrates did say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta. Among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blagg troubled, and how may he be cured? Would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious, though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing, I do advise the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes? O merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Foreman speak the truth.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share this grave news with Mistress Blagg, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone. Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candour, sir, as well your wisdom and friendship these last years. I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
I can't remember. Do we have a letter? Yeah, I do. May the Lord God absolve me of my sins, for I fear my wife Alice will not.
An explorer's wife cannot share his life. She is left alone. She is left alone. What is at sea in a wake so she?
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
Verily? And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night. This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late. And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Muncelot Grey. But Sir Muncelot has denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Foreman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
Ah, yes. Then 'tis fortunate that God can speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies?
Who indeed?
Madam, I have both good and bad tidings for you from the stars. First, the good tidings. Neither your son, your servants, nor your pets are responsible for the thefts.
Excellent. Indeed, that is well to hear. And the bad tidings? Oh, my days. Do you mean 'tis someone from outside? A burglar has been entering our house during the night to raid our larder.
Nay. I'm not quite sure how best to put this. The bad tidings are that, according to the stars, the pies are being stolen by you, madam.
By me? But do you jest, Dr. Foreman? Doubtless the theft of our pie seems trifling to you, sir. Methinks I shall take my leave now and not importune you any further.
All right. You think Terry may be right. How else could Gladys have grown so fat?
Humphrey Bell, to
Alright, ready? One more here.
You must pay the price of looking thinner.
You didn't want to eat dog food. That's too bad.
Good evening, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come for playing a Duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay. Our seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis for twice as much coin as they pay me. What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalisingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I too found your Ophelia most comely and alluring. Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles? Is one of the company's sharers about to have a child? The birth of a male child is indicated in my chart.
Ah, sir. Mistress Burbage is with child.
Then I am sorry to tell you that you have scant hope of convincing the sharers to grant you an increase in pay.
Verily? Why's that then?
Forsooth, they will wish to dedicate the coin they are not presently paying you towards a goodly inheritance for the future young Master Burbage. Doubtless also towards their son's tutoring and various other overheads and outgoings.
That's not fair though. What about my overheads and outgoings?
A fair question indeed. But alas, 'tis the way of the world, is it not? When a man becomes a parent, his priorities change most profoundly. He will promote his children's interest most fiercely, even if it means doing evil to others. Mr. Shakespeare has many children, I believe, and now the Burbages. Well, you cannot trust them to do right by you now, Mr. Bell.
What am I to do then? Ask them for a pay rise afore the baby's born?
Nay, 'tis too late for that, for the Burbages are doubtless already fixated upon their future son. Friends, neighbours, lovers. There will be no time nor care for any of them now. The heart that once was yours now belongs to the babe she carries within. Her long-cherished desire to bear a living child will overtake all else, and she will cast you aside most cruelly.
Beg your pardon, Doctor, but methinks I best go now and leave you to, whatever's vexing you, innit?
Okay, He thinks Don Trump must be having a beef with his wifey or something. Yeah, that wasn't very good advice. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for part 8. This is, we're still going. We've got 5 letters now. We need to get another 3 to get our, what's weird is that the guy who actually writes the letters has given us a letter of recommendation, but not the actual physician's license. So, we've got to collect 3 more, and with that, or we're going to run out of juice here, I guess. We finished a lot of stories, so I imagine the next one will probably be the last one for this game. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very, I'm very drawn into this. This has been a really cool experience. So we'll be back for part 9 to see what shakes out then. And of course, until the time's words, as always, peace out.